Hey kids, it's Brad checking in again from the Sony Gamers Day down here in San Diego. I'm here with associate producer Ryan Hamlin. How are you doing?
Doing well, thank you.
Cool. So what are we looking at right here?
Today we're looking at Pursuit Force Extreme Justice, which is the second iteration in the Pursuit Force franchise.
Cool. So the game, or the original game, came out last year, so it hasn't been super long since then. But what's changed in the gameplay for the new one?
The new one, we've really gone back to the drawing board in terms of difficulty, because that was one of the main complaints that we had, was that the game was just way too hard, the first one. So we went back, redesigned a lot of the tracks from the ground up to make sure that we had complete control over how difficult the game was, relying on AI and enemies and things in order to adjust that difficulty curve. There's also a story element that was sort of a cursory thing. It didn't really make any sense in the first one, but now it's much more integrated into the gameplay, and you'll see some boss missions in there as well, some huge vehicles. So a lot of good stuff going for Pursuit Force.
Can you tell us what some of those vehicles are?
One of them is a big tank. You'll see you get to climb around the big tank and various ways of taking that tank out, but basically you have to use your Pursuit Force skills, your jumping and your leaping abilities, which true to the game and the franchise itself, to take out these different vehicles.
Cool. So I hear there are some extra kind of playable or semi-playable characters in the game. Can you tell us what that's about?
Yeah, so this time it's not just the recruit. He's now more of a senior guy, and he's got a group of guys around him. Capital City, again, has exploded with gangster and criminal activity, and so Pursuit Force, he can't do it by himself anymore. He's got to get some other recruits, and so these recruits actually have slightly different abilities. Some are better at shooting, some are better at jumping, some are better at driving, so just to add a little bit more variety into the gameplay and keep the player on their toes.
Cool. So what are the multiplayer features like this time?
Multiplayer features really, we have ad hoc multiplayer with the PSP, and they're just a ton of fun. I mean, they're all in the Pursuit Force sort of genre, if you would say so. They're not classic missions that you would have in other multiplayer games, but games built specifically for Pursuit Force to use that Pursuit Force mechanic that